Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween. It is the 31st day of October. It's the big day for the city of Alton. The 108th annual Alton Halloween Parade tonight as we celebrate Halloween. I hope you guys had a great time with your families trick-or-treating and all of that great stuff. Just seeing some of the social media posts, it was great to see all that. We got a busy show for all of you guys today. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll talk to Rich Portwood, Illinois State Rifle Association, and we'll get the latest from them. Then at 10:10, we're going to talk to Russ Colona. The Great River Road Run is right around the corner, and we'll get all the details on that. Then at 10:35, we're talking to Pruitt Mechanical. They have a really cool turkey giveaway that's taking place soon, and the community's really rallying behind that. So we'll get details on that and so much more. But let's take you to top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know as your month wraps up. Make sure you download the RiverBender.com app today, and you'll never miss out. We'll take you right to Alton first. One of Alton's most celebrated and cherished traditions returns for its 108th year, and RiverBender.com will be there to bring you every spooky float, marching band, and costume ghoul live and right there in living color. The Halloween parade in Alton steps off at 7 p.m. sharp on Halloween night tonight, and our broadcast will begin at 6:50 p.m., so you won't want to miss a moment of the action tonight as we bring you that. Joe Barrett and myself will bring you the live shots and sounds, and we're trying to do a couple of new updates to the parade coverage so we can bring you more of that family dynamic, and we hope that comes off pretty well tonight too. A lot of things to look forward to. You can watch it multiple ways. You can watch it right here on RiverBender.com's live stream. If you're watching me on your TV this morning, tune in tonight at 7. You can also watch it on the iPhone app, the Android app, the RiverBender apps, and then the Facebook and YouTube channels. You can also stay up to date on Facebook and YouTube throughout the night as we bring you the parade winners. Karen Marshall will lead the way for the 108th Alton Halloween Parade as the marshal and the student that designed the scene. That poster you keep seeing, Nora Mifflin, is being celebrated. 17-year-old senior at Alton High School. Her artwork, which features that witch flying over McPike Mansion, that was chosen for the winning flyer that you see all around town. We'll keep you updated on Alton's Halloween coverage at riverbender.com/news and bring you the parade winners as they happen live and in real time. We'll keep you in Alton. Actually, for this next story, Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford, this is how we wrapped up our live show yesterday. He did clarify that Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials were not involved in that current investigation taking place within the city of Alton. This was addressed after social media rumors circulated, and Chief Ford did confirm that while police were working with federal partners, ICE is not among them. Details about the investigation remain confidential and will be shared once the operation concludes. The false reports of ICE presence caused confusion in the community, prompting this official statement. And we'll keep you updated when more details on that investigation do wrap up, as we brought you that update first yesterday morning. Tara A. Williams, a 37-year-old Alton resident and former Illinois Department of Human Service employee, has been charged with multiple felonies related to a health care fraud scheme that took place between July 2022 and May 2024. Here's what we know on this. Prosecutors allege that Williams fraudulently obtained payments exceeding $10,000 from Meridian Health Plan of Illinois by submitting false home health service timesheets and unauthorized claims under the Illinois Aid Code. Charged with managed healthcare fraud, theft, and forgery, Williams has been released pending trial. The Illinois Attorney General's office is handling this case. Williams is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. We will keep you updated if more details do emerge from the Attorney General's office. The sentencing hearing for Stanford Stokes, convicted in the shooting death of Jared Hayes, has been postponed after defense attorneys requested a continuance. Stokes found guilty on all charges related to that incident, which occurred on November the 7th, 2023 in Alton. He was convicted of first-degree murder, home invasion, and unlawful possession of a firearm. The first-degree murder charge carries a sentence of 20 to 60 years in prison. Additionally, the jury determined that Stokes personally discharged that firearm during the crime, making him eligible for an enhanced sentence of 25 years to life. A new sentencing date has not been scheduled. We will keep you updated. Law enforcement agencies from Clinton and Marion counties, along with the Illinois Conservation Police, did arrest Ashton MacArthur of rural Carlisle for allegedly killing at least 13 deer using a .22 caliber rifle and a spotlight. The arrest follows reports of deer being shot from a vehicle on October the 24th in the Boulder area of Clinton County. Authorities executed search warrants and seized evidence at multiple locations. MacArthur faces multiple conservation violations and other criminal charges. In Illinois, using artificial light to hunt deer is illegal as it blinds the animal and is considered poaching. The investigation continues and all suspects remain presumed innocent as always, but we will keep you updated on this case. This Veterans Day, RiverBender.com is once again inviting the Riverbend community to honor veterans by submitting heartfelt tributes free of charge. Anyone, family, friends, co-workers, or neighbors can share stories about veterans from any era or branch, including those currently serving. Submissions should include the veteran's full name, local connection, their branch, rank, years of service, and a brief story highlighting their courage, achievements, or memorable moments. Photos are encouraged in JPEG or PNG format. Tributes will be published leading up to Veterans Day and throughout the year. It's supported by local sponsors committed to celebrating those who serve. To participate, visit the Veteran Salute form online or email news@RiverBender.com. Let's take a look at weather. 42 degrees in downtown Alton. I don't think it feels like it out there. Feels like 41. I was almost right. Today, mostly sunny, a dry evening for trick-or-treating, and a dry evening to again watch the Alton Halloween Parade as me and Joe Barrett bring you that coverage right there, 7 p.m. sharp on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Tonight, just cloud coverage, nothing really to report. The air quality right now is clocking in at 39, which is good. Mold is low, and the other pollen indexes are in good shape today, too. Temperatures reach right around 62. They'll drop down to 38 overnight as we head into Saturday. On Saturday, a high of 51, a low of 34 degrees. Just cloudy skies. And on Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 55, a low of 37. On Monday, we start our work week with a high of 63, a low of 37 degrees, no clouds in the sky. And then on Tuesday, no rain, but we will see more clouds than sun, a high of 64 and a low of 48. That's a look at the next 5 days. It's a boring next 5 days, but we'll take that after it took too darn long to get into fall weather here in the 618. And here's what's happening now. It's 42. Feels like 41 out there for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545, this time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, Return Home. And hey, while I have you, before we take a quick break and get the show moving on a Friday, let me fill you in on Craft Beverage Festival coming your way November the 8th. That is, I believe, next weekend. Let me just kind of do math in my head. I'm right. Next Saturday, get your tickets now. You know, Corey Jobe, he called in, President and CEO of Great Rivers and Routes. And it's truly incredible, quite honestly, to hear how the event's grown in such a short period of time. I mean, they're outgrowing their venue space, and that's because there's so many craft beverage vendors and just some great food vendors to celebrate throughout the Great Rivers and Routes region. You know, from beer, wine, spirits, and food, it's a day for you. Noon to 4 p.m., $30 for tickets in advance or $35 at the door. $15 if you're the designated driver of the group. Always great to have one of those. You can get your tickets now by going to the RiverBender.com wallpaper, clicking on it, or just typing in riversandroutes.com. That's riversandroutes.com. Click on the Craft Beverage Festival. Purchase your tickets there, and don't forget to tell them that Riverbender and you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. Daily show on this Halloween Friday continues right after this on Riverbender and Roku. Of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Don't go around tonight, or it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the sky.
Welcome back, Daily Show. Sorry, I was just chatting it up with Rich before we got back onto the show. You know, Rich, you are one of the directors, you're board member of the Illinois State Rifle Association, and glad to have you on because, you know, this is one topic I would like to talk more about on the show as I feel like it definitely pertains to, you know, our area quite well. And coming up next week, you guys have a grassroots meeting, and we'll just dive right into that in a couple of minutes. But right off the bat, let's go through the Illinois State Rifle Association and just inform our audience what you guys are all about.
Sure. Illinois State Rifle Association, you might think of it as kind of like a state level NRA or Gun Owners of America, because we do a lot. I know that a lot of people think of us as only, you know, we're lobbying for gun rights, but there's a lot of education that we're putting out there. We're trying to train gun owners, trying to educate them. But, you know, we're also, you know, hosting a lot of competitions and different things like that to try to get people involved in the shooting sports. It's a great way to, you know, get people active and get them involved in something.
Well, I 100% agreed. And you know what I think is really cool just on that topic alone is seeing the area schools that have, you know, with their trap teams and just, you know, whether it's a trap team or you name it, they've had some really good shooters coming out of the area, which is kind of fun to watch too.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of cool that there are a lot of colleges who are taking on the shooting sports. I actually just saw an ad the other day where Lindenwood is looking for a shotgun coach.
Oh, wow.
Full-time job as a shotgun coach, you know.
It's incredible.
So I think it's a great thing for kids to be involved in. Teaches them a lot.
Well, and with that, I like the approach that you all have, because it's not just about legislative reforms. Education goes a long way, and the more familiar we can become with firearms and guns, I feel like it's just like anything, the less scary it might become for so many people. And I think it's great how you guys do that. And with these meetings too, it's a great way to stay informed and really just, I guess, get a taste of everything that you guys are working on and hear from the local side of things too.
Yeah. I've been a life member for a number of years, maybe 20 years with the ISRA.
Wow.
It's something that's very important to me. And, I had been approached a few years ago about becoming a little bit more involved. And unfortunately, life took a little detour for me. And whenever I was kind of getting back into the swing of things, this spring, I called Richard Pearson, who's the executive director, and said, hey, I'd be really interested in serving on the board of directors. I would like to run for that. And so I'm really new to it, but I've got a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of friends who complain, hey, they don't do anything in Southern Illinois. Well, we haven't had one of these grassroots meetings.
Yeah.
And so Scott Plasky at Piasa Armory is very, very nice to me and allowing us to have it there. And so our first speaker is going to be Richard Pearson, who is the executive director of the ISRA. Cool. He's going to drive down for it, and we're going to have him talk a little bit more in depth about what is going on with the legislative updates and kind of talk about the ISRA and our efforts to include Southern Illinois a little bit more,
Very fascinating. Well, and not to cut you off, but Illinois, especially, with some of the things that have gone on with gun laws lately, I'm sure there's been a lot of not only confusion, but a lot of just maybe just anger too. Just because of the way that it's the law's being interpreted, or you name it, and to hear some of the efforts that are being made too, it would be promising, I think, for so many people to know that there are advocates out there pushing for this reform and these changes.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm kind of piggybacking on that. One of my best friends, we went to the police academy together with each other, and great guy, big gun guy. And whenever I talked to him about the ISRA, he's like, I'm not joining them until they get rid of the FOID card. I'm not going to join them until they get rid of the assault weapons ban. And I'm like, this is the group that's doing it all. They're the ones that are paying for all the lawsuits, and we're a small group, and we need everybody involved. And, if somebody's on the fence about joining ISRA, I really hope that they will come in Wednesday and talk to us, or reach out to me.
That's a great point, Rich. I mean, you're right, because you're only going to be the change is only going to come the more the train's able to move, and the more people you have, it's a heck of a lot easier to keep moving the ball down the line, too.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, and, to have it at Piasa Armory, I think it's really fitting because, Scott does a lot for the community and some really cool community events. And also, I think it's fair to say, has become, the go-to spot when it comes to, those type of purchases and self-defense, materials and all those type of items, too.
Yeah. I know he's getting some of my money every now and then, so... I don't know.
Take me through what you've learned so far, just in your role. I know you said it's only, been a short period of time, but, take me through some of the conversations. What have you learned about just some of the inner workings and some of the work the group does?
They've got a wonderful range facility up in Bonfield. And, every week they've got something going on. Cool. They've got competitions. And it isn't just, like the bullseye pistol shoots, they've got some, they're entering air pistol season, they're going to have air rifles, air pistols. They're doing shotguns. They're doing rifles. There's so many different ways and levels to compete. As a new board member, one of my goals is to have a statewide combat pistol championship.
Wow.
And what I'm hoping to do, I have a course of fire that I've got to kind of get all the measurements laid out, but I want something that can be repeatable in like 20 different ranges across the state. And so if you win, you advance to the state championship at the ISRA range.
That's cool.
And I'd love to have, like two different levels. Like if you've never shot USPSA or IDPA, then you're in this. I've shot that, so we're going to be in this. So we're not going to compete head to head. I've got an advantage.
That's great. Yeah, that's the experience levels,
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, and I just think it's really cool to hear, just some of that, because I didn't even think about, the educational component, or, like you said, some of the activities and some of these really cool tournaments and opportunities and events that go on just throughout the weeks, at the facilities. That's great to hear about.
Yeah.
And now, so if someone joins, do they automatically get access to that, facility or that range, or how does that work?
Now, you can go up there and visit, but I believe after so many visits, you do have to buy a membership into the range itself.
Okay.
But the main thing when you're buying a membership into ISRA is that you are supporting all the legislative
efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these court cases that we're fighting for your rights, that's coming from the ISRA. I don't see the NRA filing these lawsuits. I don't see them funding them. I know that Second Amendment Foundation, GOA, some of these other folks are, attaching a brief onto lawsuits that the ISRA is funding.
Wow.
But it is the ISRA.
That's interesting. And one, it's great for the public to know that too. And just going back to what we talked about earlier, if someone's, saying, hey, I really don't want to be a part of this until, these are changed or we see this reform. Well, it takes a train to move it. And going back to that, and it's good to know that you guys are the ones that are, or the group collectively, filing these and really pushing for those changes and pushing for those rights.
Yeah, it's a lot harder pushing a rock uphill on your own.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The more friends you have, the easier it gets.
Really fascinating. Well, take me back to this grassroots meeting. What time does it start again?
We are going to start at 6:30. And I know on PIASA's website they close at 6, but the doors are going to remain open so we can get people in. And, like I said, Richard Pearson is going to be our guest speaker. He is the executive director of the Illinois State Rifle Association. And we're going to be able to invite more speakers as we go. But we're going to have some drawings for Illinois State Rifle Association members who are in attendance. And we're also going to be able to sign you up.
Really
right
cool.
there. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you, if it was open to the public and all of that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there any admittance fee to?
None. No.
This is cool. Jim, want to take a quick break?
Sure.
Let's do it. Hey, it's 9:26, a little bit of change. We'll come back and talk with Rich more about the Illinois State Rifle Association and that grassroots meeting. It's set for 6:30 p.m. at Pysall Armory. This is great to be a part of, and really some good material that's going to be in there too. We'll come back with more next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Seeing things.
Welcome back, Daily Show 929. Coming up November 5th. It is crazy. November 5th is next week. I mean, that is nuts to me.
It's flying by. It really is.
It's weird. Once you get to October, it's like the end of the year is here before we know it. Well, and now you guys have the opportunity. Doors open at 6:15 p.m. Wednesday, November 5th. The meeting at 6:30, and that's at Pysall Armory. And where are they located at, Rich? Just for
They're out there in the old Eastgate Plaza on Lewis and Clark Boulevard.
I forgot. I keep thinking about their old location.
Yeah. This is a really super nice facility. If you haven't been in there,
Scott's done an awesome job.
Yeah.
Well, and now this is the first meeting to introduce the chapter's leadership team. This is really a brand new grassroots chapter for Madison County. This is really a big deal.
Yeah. I was tired of hearing people complain we don't have anything in our area.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of grassroots meetings up north, shall we say. But we haven't had anything around here. And so as a new board member, one of my goals was to get this going. Mm-hmm. And, we aren't going to have one in December because of the holidays and everything, but I'm hoping we can pick that up in January. I haven't, gotten the details like who we're going to have as speaker and everything. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping that it isn't going to be something just on the legislative side every month. I'm hoping that maybe one month I can teach like a dry fire program.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Get some guys in who are into shotgun sports. I've got a good friend across the river who's big in IDPA. Let him come in and talk about his IDPA shoots.
Really
but,
cool.
The idea is just talk about the firearms. And
I love this is going to be awesome. I love to see this grow because you're right. There's not a lot, down here for that. And it's interesting and not, in a way that it correlates ever to, how the state functions, but it's just, the up north conversation,
Yeah, every time that I have traveled and I'm big into guns and shooting, and every time somebody asks me, where are you from? I'm from Illinois. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Why? Illinois has a great gun culture.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds kind of weird, but you get south of I-80 and you look at all the 2A businesses that are here in the state of Illinois. What would Alton area be without Olin?
Right.
I've got a picture of my grandpa working at Olin in 1929.
Mm-hmm.
Think about just the hunting industry here. I grew up in Carrollton. It's a big industry. So if you have a hunter coming into your community, they're paying for the tags, paying for that, but they're paying for a place to stay. They're paying for food. They're paying for things to do when they're not hunting. It is a huge economic boost.
Well, and Rich, you know this better than I do, but once you get a hunter that likes a spot, you're going to see them for 30 years.
Yeah.
they're going to keep coming back until the door isn't open and no more. And I think that's a really good point to make too. It's just really fascinating though how that always comes back. And what I think's cool is you're really lined up perfect for this role because of just and not patronizing you, but just all the things that you've done in your career. The connections have really got to make it a lot more fun too to be in this role because you can actually achieve some things with your phone.
Yeah. I would love to start teaching again. I'm healthy again, and I'd like to do that.
Awesome.
I went back to competing a little bit this summer and shooting USPSA.
How's that going for you?
You know, it was kind of tough, not shooting for a few years. And, I went for about a year without having any feeling in my hands.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm back to feeling normal in my hands. So I'm happy. It's kind of full circle, so to speak. And I really want to pour myself into the ISRA and try to help other folks.
Well, I think, too, we were talking during the break, I would love to see, area school districts, reach out to the group and not necessarily to talk about, legislative reform to fifth graders, but to, have that educational component and talk about firearms from a reputable group of experience. That's great.
Yeah. Well, like I said, guns is now a 4-letter word in a lot of places. And I think that if we could have that conversation, let's sit down, with some kids. If a school wants to have me come in and talk to a government class or whatever, I'm more than happy to do it.
That'd be cool.
I'm a retired guy. So
that means you work for free.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to do that. I'm willing to come in and talk about it, from the police officer side and also from, a regular citizen.
Yeah.
But also as an ISRA board member, I'm willing to talk about that. And I know that I've been substitute teaching a lot lately. And, there's some kids.
Where at?
Mostly up in Carrollton.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it works out great because my parents live right next door to the school, so I can slip over there and have lunch with my parents.
Cool, man.
Let mom cook for me, But I'm more than happy to do anything that I can to educate.
I just think it would be great, a really great opportunity just to start having the conversation, again, and with anything, the younger you can have that conversation, the easier it is to bridge that gap later on in life. And I just think it's really, really cool. And another thing too, we talked, 2 years ago, probably now, it's been a while.
Yeah.
You've been able to do some cool stuff with it, like the TV show and analyze it where you can bring in even a different component to it, that I think's really cool to this.
Yeah, that TV show was very unique. Those of you who never saw it, is called Stop the Threat. And I wish I could take credit for thinking it up. I was not that smart. James Toll got the idea. But, he would take real life crimes that were stopped, sometimes stopped by folks who were armed. And, there was a panel of experts. I was one of them that we would watch this and kind of talk about what we think they did right or what they did wrong. And that was a very unique show that I thought was exceptional in the educational benefits.
Yeah.
And I wish that we could do some more of that.
Cool, that would be so cool. I just wanted to throw that out there because, you have so many different, traits to this where you can come in and talk to a school that, on top of the association, you can add those components in for different class or tailor make them for whatever group you need to speak to. And getting back into this, bring a friend, November the 5th, 6:15 is the door opening. Meeting begins at 6:30, but you guys are kicking off with a really great speaker. He's the executive director, correct, of the association?
Yes. Yeah. He's got a wealth of knowledge. I really hope that people will come and interact. And, if you're on the fence about joining, come in, see what it's about.
How much does it cost to join? Do you mind me asking?
I think the dues are going to go up shortly to $55 a year.
That's it?
Well,
I know I shouldn't say it, but to me, that's less than $5 a month.
Yeah. And I know that there are going to be some people that complain, but like we were talking, unfortunately, we are a small organization.
Yeah.
There are approximately 2 million FOID card holders here in the state. Yeah. And we don't even have 10% of those.
That's incredible.
In
all the wrong way. Think about it. If you had 25 or even 35% going up that much, you guys could really just achieve so much. You'd be able to move the ball a lot further down the field than what's happening right now, too.
Yeah.
Man.
We've got to get the membership. We've got to get those young people in, especially.
And then just for the folks that are interested in the meeting, how long is it going to last, do you think?
We're shooting for an hour.
Okay.
But you know what? If you want to stand out in the parking lot and ask me questions, I'm willing to stay there all night if you want.
Really cool. This is going to take place at Pysall Armory. That's 625 Lewis and Clark Boulevard in East Alton. Meeting begins at 6:30. The doors open at 6:15. Wednesday, November the 5th. This is the first the kickoff really of the Madison County Grassroots Chapter, and a really big deal. I think it's great that more's coming down here, like you said, and you've lived it. To have this representation is really cool.
Yeah. And that'd be a great time to come in a little bit early. Say get there between 5 and 6, and order some Christmas presents.
That is exactly right. Nothing says a stocking stuffer like a new scope.
Yeah.
And tell Scott that we all said hi when you go down there and see him. And it's great that they provide that space, and he did. That's cool.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about before we say goodbye for now, Rich?
I'll tell you what, we can save it for another day. How's that?
That sounds good. We'll link everything in a RiverBender.com article. You can learn more by going to the Facebook event page. It's called Madison County Grassroots Meeting. It's by the Illinois State Rifle Association. You can also learn more by going to IllinoisStateRifleAssociation.com, and you can also click on the link in the event article. It will take you to how you can become a member today. That's really cool stuff. Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Take a quick break, wrap up we still got time. I'll come back and chat with you more next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. $9:20. I am on time. Normally that never happens, Gene. I'm just going to tell you that now. It's normally 9:25 or 9:15. It's never really the time I put down initially, and it's my show. I don't know what that says about me or my character, but all I know is that I'm excited for this conversation. And Gene, this is what brings up a great point. I believe Lee Barham came down and dropped off a copy of your book today, and he was also the one that encouraged the conversation a little bit, and I'm really glad to have you on the show today. This is a great one to have.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you. And if it hadn't been for Lee, we never would have met.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about your career before we talk about the book and just kind of build up to this moment.
Well, I'm an Alton native, but I moved to Chicago because I wanted to explore music. And very quickly, I got into the touring company of Jesus Christ Superstar, one of the touring companies.
Wow.
We played Canada and the Northwest United States, and I was Judas. And I ruined my voice after 2 years of wailing in soprano keys.
Oh, I bet.
And then in that, I went to a doctor and I had to stay quiet for over a year to heal my vocal cords.
How do you do that before we go any further? Because that's one of those tasks to me that seems like it's a lot easier said than done, because I'm not a quiet guy to begin with.
I wasn't either then, but so I wanted to stay in showbiz.
Yeah.
I'd been in a lot of plays as a kid. When Lewis and Clark College was Monticello College, I'm the first male student at Monticello College.
Are you really?
Yep.
Wow, that's
I lived
really
on the
cool.
campus with 6 other boys, and all we were there for was to be in plays.
Really?
Yeah. So in 1968 or 9, I was in 8 straight plays. Most of them I played the lead parts.
That's incredible.
The Boyfriend, The Fantastics, and so on and so on. But it was a great education, as well as living on a campus with 300 girls. That was a great education.
Great ratio.
But then, so I had that experience, and I decided I wanted to write a play.
Yeah.
Because I was going to face at least a year of being quiet. I did write the play. I took it to a bar one night to celebrate my first writing. And a man was sitting next to me. He looked like Telly Savalas. He was wearing a torn T-shirt. He had tattoos all over his arms. And I slammed down the manuscript on the bar. There were 4 men in there because it was like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I said, drinks on the house. Easy to do when there's only four men.
I would do that all the time, too.
And he turned to me and said, so you're a playwright? And I said, I am. And he said, well, do you know who I am? And I thought, like a stevedore off of some tramp ship in Chicago. I'm Dr. Mel Slott. I'm the director of theater at one of the local colleges. And I'm like, what? I was set up. A friend had told him I was coming.
That's interesting.
So he said, give me your manuscript and I come to my house tomorrow and I'll tell you whether you're a playwright, Mr. Playwright, like that. I went to his house. He had my only manuscript. This is way before computers.
Oh, man. That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And when I went into his house, he had laid the script on the floor of his white carpet. He had slashed everything with red pencil, and I started crying. And he said, shut up and sit down and read what's left. And there was something left. And after an hour later, he said, what have we learned? And I said that I had written a 3-hour play, which I, of course, didn't know, but it's the same play now. And he said, exactly. Now you're going to send this to, and he named somebody in New York City, and retype and send. So I did. And 3 months later, I got a call from a director named William Hunt. Your play's opening in New York. Come to New York.
Wow.
So that quickly.
What a turn. What was the play called?
Going Steady and Other Fables of the Heart.
Wow.
It's set here in Alton. And it's in the old bar that was on Central Street that we used to hang out at when I was a kid. But anyway, it happened.
No kidding.
And I came back home to Chicago, and fairly quickly, in 1987, I wrote another play which was produced at the Body Politic Theater, and I became part of their ensemble for a while.
That's incredible. What can I ask you? What bar? Do you remember the bar?
Irish Eyes.
No kidding.
Lincoln Avenue. Oh, yeah.
And then the bar that you based the play off of, could you remember that on Central Street, the name of that one?
I wish I could, but I can't call it up right now. But it was a place where high school kids would go for prom dates and stuff.
Okay, gotcha. Really
Yeah.
cool. Well, it's just fascinating to hear the backstory a little bit, because you had a very successful run up in Chicago doing this. And now, I mean, just the story of that in a nutshell is just incredible. I mean, that's almost like a movie in itself. You throw your play down because you get kind of set up by your buddy to just go in there and you connect, and here you go in such a short turnaround time.
So the other thing about Chicago was all the singers that were doing shows would gather in a bar at 2:00 in the morning after hours.
No kidding.
And I was invited there to just sing harmonies because I had a high voice.
Wow.
And so I sat with, and we were all unknown then. So John Prine, young man named John Prine.
Wow.
Arlo Guthrie, when he was in town, would come there. And I would just sit there in the back. I don't know if they knew who they were, but Steve Goodman, same thing.
Wow. That's incredible.
People like that. And Brownie McGee, Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, very old blues musicians, had their own nightclub in town. They would come too. It was fantastic.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just really interesting to hear your backstory a little bit, because it's full of different walks of life and different individuals. And, now just because we, for time's sake, we have to, keep moving forward here because we have a commercial break coming up. And that's where I want to leave the break on as a tease of what we're going to talk about. And that is your book here. What leads you back to Alton, after the career is where it's at?
Money. Lack of money.
Gotcha.
It's very expensive to live there now. It wasn't back.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And when I came back, I had no prospects, although I had interviewed for a couple of jobs. Managing a building in one of the towns south of here that was going to be rehabbed and become a theater, and I would run it. It collapsed before it opened, as so many projects do. So now what am I going to do? And the Telegraph picked me up as a freelance writer. One of their reporters did a story on me, and then she said, "Why aren't you working for us?" And I started working for her, and that's where it all really began.
It's incredible. Interviewing
local people and discovering that I knew nothing about Alton, Illinois.
Well, and see, that's what we were talking about on the phone. I did a show with Ray Harmon on the radio for years at night for a couple of years, and got a lot of running the boards and everything. And you get to hear a lot when you're there all day throughout the daytime shows. And I'm like, man, all the people that live in Illinois that are driving across to St. Louis want to hear stories about the area, about the Riverbend, and it's full of history and business culture and entertainment. All these different cultures connect, and I think that there's a lot to talk about. And we drive by, Lyman Trumbull's house, and 90% of us don't know who that is. We drive by all these various spots that are truly historic. They aren't just old. And I think that that's what makes us so much more unique over other towns, is that they might be historic for a couple of things, but you take a walk and you go down through the chapters of the history book. Alton has a lot of those notches in the belt.
They do, and I grew up in Belleville, and then we moved here. My family moved here when I was in the 7th grade, so it was very hard for me and my sister to adjust to.
Oh, I bet.
Being here. But what was so different was Belleville. There was one black kid in my class. Alton, there were many black kids, many of whom are very close friends now, but they didn't talk about what happened to them as youngsters. Because they went to segregated elementary schools.
Right.
But everybody went to Alton High, where there was one high school.
Well, and that's what I think surprises so many folks too, is when we talk about, the school district being segregated, is that a lot of folks just don't comprehend that for my generation, because it just doesn't make sense. 2 and 2 doesn't equal 4 there, and they didn't see it.
Schools were desegregated in Illinois in 1895.
Yep.
nobody obeyed it, and no one did anything about it. 1952, a gentleman here who is with his brother and some other men, black, built many of the brick streets of Alton, and they were beloved until he filed a suit to get his kid into a white school.
Wow.
And 4 days after he filed, a cross burning occurred right across the street from him at Rock Springs Park. Elijah Conley was that his name. Lived next door to the Killian family, who are historic here in Illinois, and Josephine Beckwith, who really was the leader of the civil rights struggles of that period of Alton.
It's very fascinating.
And I got to interview Jo 3 times when she was around 100 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And she really blew my mind with the things she told me.
Well, I'm sure. You got a moment to take a quick break with me? Let's pay that bill. We'll come back and we'll talk with Gene more and discuss the book and more of the story there. You stay there and we'll be back in the studio after this one on RiverBender and Roku.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think the time is right for us to...
Welcome back, Daily Show on a Monday. 9:36 is the time. Back in with Gene. And, Gene, as we're talking about the book now and going right into it, what led up to the book? It was a money thing, correct? Or was it, or no, you getting a job at the Telegraph and coming back home was because it was getting expensive to live in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then what leads to the book?
Well, actually, the book leads back to Chicago.
Really?
And I wouldn't have known that because I never intended to write any book.
Really?
But in Chicago, I had some experiences that I wouldn't have had here, especially in theater with black actors, for instance.
Uh-huh.
I befriended for a while August Wilson, the great Pulitzer Prize winning playwright. He would come, his plays would be done at the Goodman Theater, and when he was there, I would be invited to have lunch with him.
That's awesome.
So we would sit and talk, and that started me thinking about things because I was used to a white world.
Right.
I lived in a white vacuum. And then the government got a contest for a play about the Underground Railroad in Illinois specifically.
Wow. Okay.
I knew nothing about the Underground Railroad in Illinois. However, I won the contest.
Oh, wow.
So my third play becomes this journey where I am down in Kentucky, Illinois, and walking actual escape routes with archaeologists and historians, getting me ready to write this play. And so Water Brought Us and Water is going to Take Us Away, opened in 2 years from there, after I had been journeying through different Underground Railroad routes. One of them was, strangely, Alton, Illinois.
Wow.
Which I did not know until that time.
Right.
And then I got all the way up through to Chicago, around in Michigan up to Canada. And now I know that in Michigan, and I didn't know it then, a man who worked on the Underground Railroad in Cass County, Michigan, William Holman Jones, is my great-great-grandfather.
Wow.
I found this out with the Hainer Library.
It's incredible.
Genealogy Center.
That's incredible.
I've been to his farm now. He moved on to Bleeding, Kansas. And in Kansas, he befriended John Brown. Wow. So he's in the history books for that.
That's incredible.
And all of that is like percolating in me. Mm-hmm. So the play is based on the work of Glenn Tilly Turner, who's a historian, her book, The Underground Railroad in Illinois. I had written to her and asked for permission to use stuff. Mm-hmm. She's speaking at Martin Luther King Day, and she invites me to come. And in Lake Forest, Illinois, we go and have lunch in a mansion across the street, which has been donated. And she stops everybody from eating and says, "Gene, do you like the chair you're sitting in?" "Yes, Gwen." "Do you like the silverware? Do you like the plate?" "Yes. Martin Luther King sat in that chair.
Oh,
you
wow.
were eating off of his. This says us to honor you." And I'm like, oh my God.
Wow. That's
and once again, I bawled like a baby, and Gwen and I became good friends.
That's incredible.
So that's, that happened. And something else that I don't think, something that I did illegally to help a black person. Let's just put it that way. That's chapter 1, but I don't know if I should talk about that.
Okay.
But all of that, now I come to Alton, Illinois. I meet Jo because I'm assigned to write about her.
Right.
She dies. The paper covers her death. That's the whole front page. I wrote it, the thing for the paper. So I'm at her funeral, and Dwayne Bailey, retired judge, walks up to me and says, "I know who you are, and I'm here to tell you why you're here in Alton, Illinois." And I said, "I'm here because I broke." And he said, "No, you're here to write the civil rights struggles of Alton."
Wow.
And I'm, what? Like that. But behind him was Charlotte Johnson, who's quite a renowned historian. If you haven't met her, you should have her on your show. And Charlotte is sitting on a stairway and people watching, and she's laughing because she knows that I'm upset. And I said, "Did you know that Dwayne was going to ask me to write this thing?" And she said, "Yeah, come to my house tomorrow and I'll give you all the ammunition you need."
Wow.
She has piles and piles of research all over her basement, which she handed me by the pound.
Oh, man.
That's how it starts.
That's incredible.
And then everything that I do from that moment, I'm learning about. I did not know.
Well, and now let's go back real quick before we go forward. You know, let's go back to the play. You're going through all these spots.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, and this is just my I think takeaway would be, is it's a different feeling whenever you're going through spots on the Underground Railroad. It's not, you know, I don't want to say this and sound, you know, any way of opinionated, but it's not the American pride you're feeling when you're walking in these spots. You know, I could only imagine. It could be in a way that we honor and we remember those stories, and it's prideful that way, and prideful that someone made this tough journey and they fought through all this adversity. But on the other side of things, it's very harrowing, I'm sure, and a very somber experience. Take me through, you know, what you felt in those spots, and then some of the stories you heard along the way.
What I remember most about that preparing for that play was they took me to a place, a knob, which is the highest point in the Shawnee National Forest.
Okay.
And from that knob, you could see our Kentucky slaves escaping. Wow. Could see that. So fires were lit there. So that people would know. And the Underground Railroad is essentially in increments of 10 miles.
Okay.
So, but that first journey would be to that knob.
Wow.
And that knob had an insulting name in the 1800s, the N-word knob. Oh. And now it's been changed to something else.
Rightfully so.
So, and then they had uncovered a village of free black people living there, and never harassed. Nothing happened to them, even though they were so close to the Kentucky border.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that happened, and all the way up through Elijah Lovejoy's brother, Owen, who lived in northern Illinois and was part of the Underground Railroad. And that's where I learned that Owen relied on local farmers to bring escaped slaves to him. And one of them was Duckbill Hickok, who was, as a kid, had a hair lip and that's why it was called Duckbill.
Wow.
As an adult, he grew an enormous mustache and became Wild Bill Hickok.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And he and other boys would run wagons, false bottom wagons, to take escaped slaves to Owen Lovejoy.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and there's 1,000 stories like that.
But, and see, that's where I feel like the difficulty would come in, because I'm sure every story deserves the same bit of time and attention, you know, when writing a play and also when showcasing that to a mass audience. And it's probably difficult to select those moments in time that you want to snapshot.
It is, and so my book is not a history. It's got history in it, but I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
So it's a story, and I decided it's my journey to go through all this stuff. But the emphasis is on the people I met, and Joe Beckwith certainly is one of those major figures that I will never ever forget. And then also. I was I worked on the National Tuskegee Airmen Oral History Project in Chicago because I was a writer. So they were looking for somebody to interview 100 or so survivors in the Chicago area. And I was immersed in that for 2 or 3 years as I met these gentlemen, including Truman Gibson, who, if you don't know who Truman Gibson is, look at the picture of President Harry Truman signing the desegregation order of the armed forces, and Truman is standing at his left shoulder, and I became friends with him.
Oh, wow.
And it was like that. It was just, everything was mind-boggling, everything that happened.
Well, and now take me through, writing the book now, and what the folks and the members of the public all, can get is, what's the best way to kind of to summarize this, or how can we get them to go, you know what, I'm going to get this today, or I want to call Gene or find a way to get a copy of this?
That's a good question. About a third of the book, the last third, is devoted to that story of the civil rights struggles here. Before that, we look at certain individuals that, especially the history of Alton, going back to the 1900s. In early 1900, Alton, Illinois, is the victim of Chicago reversing its sewage, and they reverse the Chicago River. Yeah. It comes into Alton, that sewage. And plus, all those factories, people are really sick, and the atmosphere is awful. But it's worse for black people because they're in little Bell Street was a place where there were lots and lots of black people, virtually prisoners there. Plus 2 films which opened here in Alton in the early 1900s, The Birth of the Nation, and another one that has a name I cannot say on the air, and these were horrible things that committees of black women would beg Alton mayors to please do something about this before violence occurs, and nothing was ever done.
Well, and see, this is where I find it so fascinating too. Is it's a look into our own backyard in a way, because a lot of times, in those history books, and we talked about this the other day, is you get a lot of the national stories, and a lot of the ways that maybe folks look at news now, where it's like, well, it's not here, it's here, it's out there, but it's not in my backyard, it's not affecting me in my grocery aisle yet. And I think that when you take a look at these local stories or local figures, I think maybe it's a great opportunity for younger students and teachers to showcase our area's history through the civil rights movement, and not just the national stories, but also tie both of those national, the regional, and the local impact stories in as well.
There's a great story connecting us with Thurgood Marshall. Before he was famous as a Supreme Court, he ran the NAACP in New York. And he was getting ready to file Brown versus the Board of Education. He sent out accolades to go to different small towns over the South. He thought Alton was the South, and in some ways Alton is the South. And they would train local black families in those places on how to protest peacefully.
Wow.
Jill gave me an example. She and black women would go to the movie theater, and they would hold their children so nobody would hurt them and sit in the aisles of the movie theater.
Wow. Now,
they were trained by a woman who came on behalf of Thurgood and did this in secret. Her name is June Shagaloff, and she was very connected. She was at the famous Robert F. Kennedy meeting where they were trying to talk Kennedy into walking with Ruby Bridges into her school, and he refused to do it. And some really famous actors and so on. But June sat in that too. Yeah, and she was here. No one knew it.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just incredible. And that's where, I would love, especially as we get, throughout the year, to keep having you come back and maybe talking about parts of the book, or maybe we can pick out a chapter that it doesn't give too much away, because we still want everyone to get it, and keep these conversations going, Gene, because it's a great introspective look, I think, and one that really puts the microscope back here in focus, and not just a broad view of things. And I think it's really important.
It's really different writing plays about your, like Eugene O'Neill, your play, your drunken uncle, so on and so on. It's quite another thing to write a nonfiction piece that is so, it's very serious, and there are moments that aren't so serious, but it's just completely changed my life.
I bet.
Yeah, and in the future, I don't know where I'm going to go from here, but the next project will definitely have that element in it. So.
Well, and absolutely, and like I said, I can't wait, Gene, to talk about this further. And then as you get to that next project, if when it comes out or when it comes to that point, to keep us filled in on the process, because it's really good that we're taking a deep dive into our area more and more, and hopefully, like I said earlier, we can educate more individuals and younger children and let them know more about our area's history too.
I don't know how much time I have left, but let me just say, for everyone listening, the irony of all this is there is no such thing as race. There is no such thing. We all come from the same place. We are different colors because we live in environments that don't require dark skin in Finland and Scotland and wherever, Scotland. But there is no race. Science tells us there is no such thing. And yet, every day on the news, you probably used it in your news broadcast, race. There's no such thing. It infuriates certain people of the Pale tribe, my tribe, to hear that. They don't want that. We're different. We're something special. We're here in the United States because it's our destiny, manifest destiny.
Absolutely. Well, Gene, thank you, like I said, so much for stopping by, and I really appreciate your time, and I can't wait to have you back on and discuss this further.
You're welcome.
We'll take a quick break at 9:51. More Daily Show comes right around the corner. We'll wrap up the 9 and get ready for the 10 after this.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, Daily Show. Sorry, running out of music. Meatloaf. We played Meatloaf the last time you were on. That isn't it crazy what music does to somebody? I can't remember what I ate for breakfast today, let alone what was on the radio today. But I'll remember Russ with Meatloaf.
Yeah, I saw Meatloaf in concert.
Bad Out of Hell. Yep,
that's pretty awesome.
Bad Out of Hell is one of the best albums ever released,
Yes,
as far as
definitely,
I'm concerned.
Definitely.
You know, it's crazy to me that we're in November. I mean, we're Halloween night, and someone's going to say, "CJ, we got to at least get past this evening." Well, we can't because the Great River Road Run is getting ready to embark on its 66th year. That's incredible. I mean, that alone is just incredible.
Yeah, that's probably one of the oldest races in the country.
Oh, I would say so. Most continuous
Right,
for sure.
right.
Well, Russ, this is Saturday, November the 29th, and this is a 10-mile
10 mile and a 5K.
A 10-mile and a 5K. And we were talking last year, we've talked last couple of years, but to hear the regional approach to this and how some folks, come from out of state and run in this, and it's really cool to hear how this has become such a draw and really just celebrates the running community all throughout the year because the funds raised from this, they go right back into supporting young runners and supporting other endeavors put on for the community.
All for the running community. It goes right back to them.
Well, and now this year takes off Saturday, November the 29th. And now what time does it start?
Now we're starting early this year.
Okay.
We've been starting at 10 for years. We're starting at 9 a.m. this year in hopes of cutting the cost a little bit because we get charged per hour.
Gotcha.
So I'm doing everything I can to cut as much as I possibly could to save money.
Yeah.
To give back to the community. I don't want to give that to people that we're paying. I'm going to give back to young runners and
totally makes sense. So 9 a.m. and now the 10-mile course. How does that shape up? What's it look like?
Well, it's a simple one. We start there at the mills, go out 5 miles, and turn around and come back.
That's
all on the Great River Road Run. You got all the beautiful scenery of the bluffs, the trees, the river. It's a beautiful run.
Well, and now I think it's just perfect. You obviously you guys know a lot more about running weather than I do, but it seems like that'd be a great temperature too for a 10-mile run because that's a lot of work.
Well, last year we hit a blizzard. I mean, it snowed on us, and the runners were coming in. But I tell you what, they enjoy that. True runners can handle the heat. They can handle it. They were coming in fully covered in snow. Now, the ones that hurts is the workers that got to stand out there.
Well, that's true, because you ain't moving.
You're running, you're generating body heat. You're standing there, you're just turning into Frosty the Snowman.
So what's the 5K course look like?
It's the same thing. They all start at the line. Now, with today's technology, the timer can time it all and separate it on a computer. So they all start at the same time. They turn around and come back, and then 10 miles continue to the 5-mile marker and come back.
That's incredible. Now, do you got some pretty competitive 5Kers in this?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm nervous about.
There's a kid from Michigan who's been coming down the last few years.
Russ, I wanted to win this thing. I thought maybe if I get out there, if everyone else just
He's been running pretty tough. And
man.
There's always, Alton's had some good runners in the past that's come out and run this. It's been a fun little run.
You know what I think, though? And this is just my takeaway because I get to see some of the reaction to it and just some of the social media stuff is, it's kind of coveted to win this thing. It is really cool to be the winner of one of these.
And that 10 mile, too, that's a big one.
That's a
big badge of honor to put on your chest. You won that
at the end of November, and I'd say so. Yeah. Well, now this is cool. So 5K is 14 and under is $20, correct?
Yes.
And then 15 and over, it's $30.
Yeah, we try to keep the cost down for young runners. We want as many young runners as we possibly can get out there.
Well, and if you don't register in time, now you should, because we got a month to get there.
Right.
You can still register the day of the event.
There's a little added cost to that. The registration closes Thanksgiving night.
Oh, wow.
And we do that so that the guy that puts all this together, the timer, has time to seed all that and put it all in like they need to.
Yeah. No, I 1,000. This is cool. And what I think is cool is you aren't charging, double. You're just charging an extra $5.
Right, extra $5 just to.
Like this. And now it's $40 online for the entry fee, correct?
Right.
For the 10.
Yes.
Okay. And then there is a processing fee through November the 27th is when that cuts off.
Yeah, the active.com, the one we do it, of course, they have,
yeah.
Everybody's got to get a little piece of something.
They got to make sure their credit card fees are paid or whatever you want to. Now, I just think it's cool that there's two different that you can mail in your entries too, correct?
Right.
So there's a couple of different ways that you can RSVP.
Yeah. In the old days they were all mailed in, and we've kind of switched over to the online deal. There's still an older group that still likes to mail them in. I mean, they won't give it up. They're going to mail it.
I still got to walk the damn bill down to my grandma's mailbox and flip it up for her.
They won't give it up. They want that application in hand. They want to send it out. So
I love it.
We keep them happy.
For the 10-mile runners out there, $45 if you do it beforehand and register before the day, and then it's $50 the day of, which again is really
for a 10-mile race.
That's and it's a beautiful 10-mile. You weren't in the middle of a cornfield. I mean,
we block off one whole side of the river road, and you got that all to yourself, so you can.
How much work does that take to block that off and get all that going?
Well, my son's been in charge of that last few years. They leave at 6 a.m., go out there and set cones up for 5 miles and block off some of the roads and
that's a lot of work.
Yes, it is. The real work is when you got to go pick it up.
And it's snowing.
After a long day.
It's snowing.
Yes.
Oh, man. Now, do you ever cancel for inclement weather?
We never have, knock on wood. I mean, we've had a warm day. It was one year it was like 78, 77. And that's actually bad because the runners get too hot.
Yeah.
They're not used to that.
Yeah.
We had to run more water out to the course that day. We ran out of water, so.
I bet. Wow. And now you can find out more information, and you can register online by going to altonroadrunners.org. That's Alton Roadrunners. I'm typing it as I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm not typing as fast today, Russ. It's Halloween. They never tell you about this behind the scenes. These are my notes for the Halloween parade.
Jeez.
But I don't work. No, right here it takes you to the website, Alton Roadrunners Club, altonroadrunners.org. And this is a really great website. It's so easy to navigate.
It's got everything on there. My phone number's on there. If they want to call me and contact me, I've got no problem with that.
So this is what I love. I mean, right here, just application here or online registration here. You can register right there and start being a part of that too. And
we have a spot on there too. If you're interested, you can make a donation to help us out.
Well, this is where I really want to focus the conversation on, because I don't feel like we talk about enough that this is really for the community, the racing community as a whole, and also the kids. Because the end of the year banquet that you do for the kids in the high schools,
right?
It's really cool, and it's right here in Alton. I mean, you get the community kids to come together, the area runners, and you celebrate them. And
that is a giant celebration. The families and kids just absolutely love it.
It's so cool, and I've heard this from multiple people for years about, this has always been a big deal. And what I think so unique about this, and, there's always groups that, turn a tournament into a business, and they make their money, and that's what they do.
It's fundraiser.
Yeah, but it's not for you guys. No. You literally are a give back organization.
We do a track series all of June, and we do a summer series for little kids, and then run a year banquet, which is actually going to be the day after River.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. So you aren't going to be tired.
So that's going to be a good weekend for me. But I enjoy that. I mean, that's a big celebration night.
Well, and one thing too, this is where I really hope, because it costs to put this on. I mean, you're shutting down a lane of a road. You need barricades and everything else.
Right.
And if there's a business out there, and especially too with so many great sports editions around here and just some great companies, really would encourage you guys to support this, because you're only giving back to future athletes.
And I know there's people stopping and eating.
Yeah.
Because they've been there all, and you run a 10-miler, you're ready to eat.
I mean,
so they're not just doing this and going home. outspread money in the
You
community.
know what was cool? You're right, because they had like almost like post-race parties. Like there was
Right.
families getting together in different spots, and it was
Oh,
a
yeah, I
really
hear
cool
them saying,
thing.
we're going to meet here after this, and they're all excited. And
Well, and even if you guys don't, you aren't a restaurant out there, but you're a big organization, think about this for your end of the year donation, because this is a great way to really help support this.
I know we've had people in the past come out and hand out coupons. They give me coupons, I'll give it to every runner.
Yeah.
And then help them go to their establishment or wherever they want them to go. So
What's the best way to reach out to sponsor this?
just the altonroadrunners.org. And like I said, my phone number's on there. If they want to contact me, I'll talk to anybody. And like I said, we've had banners and signs down there in the past of representing their store area, food, restaurant, whatever they want. And if they want a coupon, 10% off, or buy one, get one free deal, whatever, we'll surely hand anything out for them.
I love it. Then the long sleeve dry fit shirt to all entrants, and then a special anniversary prize for every 66th finisher.
We count every 66 runner that comes in, and the various prizes are you can win Subway gift card, you win $66.
No kidding.
Or you can get free entry for next year, which is
That's awesome.
So if you run the 10-miler next year, you're saving $40 for next year.
Well, what I like is now I don't have to worry about getting beat from that kid in Michigan. I can finish 66th and be just fine. I hope. No, with that being said, what is so Chip Timing? They're part of this too, or is that endurance race?
Endurance race timing.
That's really cool.
Right.
So is that partnership been there for a while?
Yeah. I've known that guy. He does all the high school stuff, track and field, cross country. He comes out and does this every year. And like I said, we do the 5K and 10K, 10 miles start off the same time, and he separates all that on his computer. So
It's incredible.
it is incredible.
Isn't that crazy how far racing and all that's coming? How could you imagine if everyone had that technology 50 years ago?
I can remember putting a bunch of ladies in a room and they sat down and figured all that out by hand.
God love them.
Man.
God love them. That's all I can say. Age divisions are important for this too, because you guys do a great job of separating this.
Yeah, I'm one of these guys. I like to give out the awards, spread it out.
Yeah.
We have these big dogs come in wanting to win, and they win all over the place. And they get their glory. These guys in the back sometimes, they need glory too. So
thank you, Russ.
We even break it down to 70 and over. I'll stand out there, and there's always this group of ladies that come in at the very end, and I'll have a medal for them because they're over 70 and they're one of the last ones in, and they're just as happy as the guy that came in first.
I love this. And now there's plaques to the top 3 overall, Masters 40 and over, male and female, all awards given in shoot.
Yes.
And then top 10 medals in each age group.
Right.
That's cool. This is wonderful.
It's all color-coded on their number, so now I have a really smart group at the end that catches them, and they just hand all that out.
It's a team effort for sure.
Yes.
Now, what is this post-race refreshment you want to fill me in on?
Well, it's just at the end, they'll have bagels, we have fruit, there's drinks at the very end down there. As soon as they come through, they'll have something to snack on.
And then timings will be posted race day online at greatriverroadrun.org.
Yes, and they can actually catch it almost immediately online.
No kidding.
You could get to the end and shoot, go get your phone, type it in, and you'll know what your time and probably what place you were in.
This is just awesome, man. I really hope that we get somebody else to come up and help support this and sponsor. And Russ, we've had you on throughout the year, and with the summer racing series, that's really great for the community.
Yes.
And also, just real quick before I let you go, can you preview the banquet that's coming up?
Well, the Run of the Year banquet is, like I said, this year, it's been all over the place in December. This is the earliest we ever had it. We have to take it when the room's available because she donates the room for us. And we have runners from 14 area high schools, and the coaches and the parents come in, and we have a nice chicken dinner, hand out plaques. I bring them up, give them their 5 minutes of glory. I talk about them, tell them what their accomplishments are. Some kids have done fantastic. But we ask anybody to come in. It's not just your top runners. It's if you have a senior that's there all 4 years, been to practice every day, working hard, we celebrate anybody and everybody.
That's really cool. I just love what you guys do, Russ, and thanks so much for stopping by.
Okay, thank you.
We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com. The 66th annual Great River Road Run set for Saturday, November the 29th. Get registered now at altonroadrunners.org. That's altonroadrunners.org. Or for all of you traditionalists out there, you can still mail in that registration.
It comes straight to my house.
And you can find out more information on how to do so at the website, altonroadrunners.org.
This was actually started by Jim Wigger.
Yeah, we talked about
Alton legend. I mean, it's just we're just continuing his memory. I mean, he's done some fantastic things, and he'll stop by and see what's going on. But yeah, it's incredible.
Man.
66 years.
We need to get like a grant for this or something for
Yeah.
you guys, because you're right. This is an Alton staple. We got to celebrate this, man.
Almost
And
like it's almost like the Halloween parade.
Yeah,
66
it is.
years. I mean,
You don't see that very often. And,
no.
and like you said, the true Alton connection there with Jim Wigger, and then all the great runners that have been a part of it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Russ, for stopping by.
Thank you.
Take a quick break. 10:31. We are talking to, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with more next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Daily Show, 10:35. You know, last year I got yelled at because I had like all this Halloween music on 2 weeks before, and it's not like Christmas music. Everyone was burnt out and tired of it, so I had just decided today would be the day I throw out a couple of theme songs and we just keep moving forward.
You might as well. They're probably going to be playing Christmas.
They are.
Tomorrow.
Have you gone to Dollar General?
I think I've gone to any store that has
Yep.
Christmas is already out. I seen my first Christmas commercials yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. It was like the jingle. It's like I was getting ready for work. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm getting ready. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Did I just hear Christmas jingle on? Are we at Christmas time?
You look up in the mirror and Mariah Carey's behind you.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah. And then they got the red and green M&Ms. You know,
Yeah.
those are out too. So as soon as you see red and green M&Ms, it's Christmas time.
That's true.
So, you know.
Well, we can't get to Christmas without getting to Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And Pruitt Mechanical giving back again. I love this, man. This is so cool. I haven't really talked to you directly about this, but just seeing online, you kind of kicked this off, this turkey giveaway, and now folks are joining in, and this is becoming really fun to watch.
Yeah. So we just wanted to take an initiative. We kind of knew this year, not that it's any less any other year, but we knew this year more so that there was going to be, a lot of need in the community. There's a lot of struggling going on right now. So we were just tossing around some ideas in the office. We're always kind of trying to think of something to do for the community. And that idea got tossed up, and we're like, well, let's just see. Let's see what we can do, right? So, I initially invested $1,000. I'm like, well, we'll invest $1,000, and then we'll see if we can, get some other businesses that want to join on. And it really has taken off. I mean, from the very start, we had businesses that were really just jumping on. I think we're up to like 12 or 13 now. And it's really just small businesses that are coming together, donating funds, to essentially just purchase turkeys. That we plan on just giving away.
You're up to $4,700 right now. This was as of 30 minutes ago. But what I think so cool is just what you said. It's that old school Americana community coming together thing, where businesses are just collaborating and having fun. And now, are you guys having fun with other businesses on this and just enjoying the mood a little bit?
We are. I always enjoy this type of stuff, right? Like it gets me pumped up. So I enjoy it thoroughly, and I think a lot of the other businesses are too. I mean, they're putting their own little spins on it, and stuff like that, which they should, because they're stepping up and doing things that first off other businesses aren't doing, right? And this is a need that is people need this, and I know that for sure. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm doing something good, and let's acknowledge what you're doing good so the community knows it too, because I'm a strong believer in the small businesses, you'll always hear them. They'll always, support small business. Support small businesses. You'll hear that, from them all the time. Well, the problem I always come across is are those small businesses supporting the communities that support them, right? So with our company, we're not just a service company. We serve, first. We serve first, and then we service, right? And there's a difference between what you're doing, right? I mean, are you serving your community or are you servicing your community? We put serving first, and I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of small businesses really need to take a note of. I mean, not. If you can't, you can't. But if you can, even $50 helps, right?
Right.
Anything helps. Even $20 buys one turkey.
Right. Well, you just hit it on the head, because so many times you see and I hate to use the word upset, but offended, but I do get offended seeing something, because it's like, guys, if you're a part of the community more, it all starts to work itself out. It takes a little bit, and like you said, it might be $50, or it might just be volunteering, going out and being a part of something. So it's a great note there. And what I think is interesting too with what you do at Pruitt Mechanical Services, and just my takeaway a little bit from the blue collar stuff I used to do is, when you're training and you're going through, sometimes you get to meet the folks that are really struggling, where that, what I'm saying, where that small fix to the HVAC that's, or the air conditioning system that's 30 years old is, at least keep them, cool for the summer, and maybe we can figure out how to afford this next year.
Yeah, well, sometimes that small fix is all they had in their budget that month. Like sometimes that small, and for plumbing, we do plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. We do all three trades. So sometimes, that small fix, I mean, I think everybody knows what you're like, one life altering event, away from bankruptcy or whatever that, however that goes, right? But I think in reality, most families are one, major repair away, like from, do we eat this month, or do we pay for, this repair, or, and take that to, we already know that's medical, right? Like, are we paying for medicine this month, or are we paying for food this month, or are we paying our electric bill this month, right? So when you get any type of anything thrown in the mix that was unexpected, it's like, like this came out of nowhere. How do I make this work?
Well, and I just think, it's a unique tie-in, and really great to just see that this is, you guys are giving back the way you are. And big shout out to Grand Paisaw Body Art. Look, it's Off the Beaten Path Automotive, Wellafant. I couldn't spell that yesterday.
Wellafant. Yes, Wellafant, yes.
I was nervous, but I'm feeling better about it now. You got a Sharper Image Home Improvement. Cody Jarrett at Weber Chevrolet, Third Shoot and Graft in the Alton Telegraph, Jenkins Fencing, Barnett Pest Solutions, Renewed Wellness, Pruitt, Win
Nelson Supply right here on Broadway.
How did I get that wrong?
They're right here on Broadway.
Well, Rig and Sewer Service, you think I know the damn...
Yes, yes.
Sorry, Stacy. Gumbo to Go's the newest sponsor.
Yes, Gumbo to Go just came on this morning, which is super exciting. And what you'll notice about that is it's all local, small family businesses, all of them. Every single one of them. Even Weber Chevrolet. Cody Jarrett is a salesman there, and I think he's one of the best car salesmen in my opinion in the area. He stepped up, and I think he's putting up the money. But he's like, let's say Weber Chevrolet. So it just kind of
that's cool, man.
It really kind of shows really cool. Like where people's hearts are. And I think it's tremendous.
What's the best way for a business right now to join up and say, let me support this too?
Sure. So there's multiple different ways. You can call our office 618-208-7722. You can hit us up on Facebook. We're on all the socials. You can email us, office@PruittMechanicalServices.com. Socials are all over the place. We've really easy to get a hold of. Just reach out to us. We are trying to lock in the businesses by the end of the day today. So,
makes sense.
Yeah. I've kind of secured a connection at Sam's Club. We wanted to do something more local, actually, to get these turkeys. Unfortunately, I've reached out to most of the local places, and they're kind of telling me, look, Joe, I'd love to help you, but your best bet for the biggest bang on your return is going to go to one of these places, and it hurts me to do that because I want to keep everything local,
right?
But they're being honest and they're saying, hey, this is going to be your best bang. And I appreciate that too. I really do.
If you do it next year, that's where someone can write a big fat $10,000 check,
yes.
and you don't have to worry about if it's more expensive or not. You
yes.
can still just give them the check,
Yes. Definitely, right? And that's what we need.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been great to get some, some big, Conoco, some of these huge companies around here, to throw them. But, hopefully maybe this is the first year that we've actually kind of did it on this type of scale.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to maybe making this a tradition, maybe a yearly thing, and we can kind of grow on this and really make this, something that is meaningful and it really matters, makes an impact.
Really cool. So save the date for November the 15th. The details of where that's going to be are going to be announced soon because it's kind of fluid.
It is.
But is it going to be a drive-through?
It is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, that house. We're not going to do like you're not going to have a number, and that's the unfortunate part. So this is going to be, when they're gone, they're gone.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to, make this into anything more than that. So there probably is ways that I could, but with this,
it's more efficient. It has to be this way.
It does. It really does. Tentatively, if all else fails, we will have it at our location where we have a really nice turn-in. But we're into some discussions with some churches too, possibly. So we just haven't finalized location yet, but that will be finalized by next week.
Really cool. You got a moment to take a break with me?
I do.
I got to pay a bill. 10:43, a little bit of change. We'll come back with Joe, Pruitt Mechanical Services. The turkey giveaway set for November the 15th at 10 a.m. We'll talk more about it next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain, I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You can never hear that part of the show. My favorite part of the show is during the break, because I always feel like I'd have, we do great with numbers, but I'm telling you, I would take Stern on if I had this microphone going. We're back with Joe, Pruitt Mechanical. Do you guys see an influx this time of year, or is it, because you do all three major service industries?
We do. So, it really varies. I think we do see an influx right before the holidays.
I bet.
Everyone's trying to get their projects done, and then that's right before the slow time. We follow really industry trends just like restaurants, and you'd be surprised because because what happens is at the end of summer, right, July, most of the time for heating and cooling, you've had your system replaced if it needs to be replaced already, right? It's been repaired if it needs to be repaired. And then so we come into that July where everyone's taking their vacations, they're trying to finish off summer, they're trying to do their thing. Mm-hmm. No one's really worried about the house stuff. Then we're going back to school, so everybody's getting ready for school stuff. So they're putting everything off, right? And then now we have the holidays are coming up. Yep. So now everyone's like rushing to get these plumbing projects done. The water heater's been leaking, or what at the sink, or the electrical issues. They're rushing to get those done. We get that influx, but we handle it pretty well. We look forward to those good times.
You have a pretty good team, and that's what is really cool too, is to see that continue to grow too.
Yeah. I absolutely couldn't do anything without my team. I mean, I don't work in the field myself anymore, so I solely rely on my team.
No, I got a question. Just because if someone that used to, when you work in the field and you're doing everything to keep moving forward,
wearing every hat,
everything. Right. What's it feel like not to be able to do that anymore? Is it a great feeling, or do you get the itch every once in a while to go back out there?
So I think any business owner will tell you the hardest part is when you scale to that to the next level is letting go of those things that you have always held on to, because you feel like you are the one that needs to make sure that it's getting done properly.
Yeah, because they saw Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they saw me, or I just don't trust that anyone else is going to be able to handle it the way I'm going to handle it, or but you have to put SOPs in place and train them and let them go. And they're going to fail, and then they're going to learn just like I did. And then hopefully people have mercy, and grace, right? But that's what you have to do. I love this. Yeah.
Well, just wanted to touch base on that. What's the best way to get a hold of you if someone is having some issues right now?
So you can reach us at 618-208-7722. That's our direct line. Our phones are answered 24/7. Not a time our phones are not answered.
Love that. That's actually really cool.
Yes, we dispatch 24/7 as well. I mean, of course, we have the emergency fee if it's after hours.
Yeah, we all understand.
Yeah,
we do.
Everything is more, and that's another thing. Like, even with us, and that's something I'd love to talk about. Quickly is with all the prices going up, us mom and pops, we have to raise our prices too because we're getting hit just like everybody else. I myself, I haven't raised my prices over 2 years. Last year, I actually lowered my prices. Believe it or not, I did. Yeah, so
wow.
We did. We actually lowered some of our service rates. But it's inevitable that to stay profitable, you have to make those decisions. I see everyone so mad at hit and run right now, and it's like
the protest made me almost pee myself laughing so hard. Come on, guys. I mean, they're trying to adapt. They're
trying to survive.
We're supposed to support each other.
Right. So let's bash each other. I mean, the soda is going to be just as good if you walk in and get it yourself. Yeah. I promise you. I worked
there as a dinger slinger. We did not put any pixie dust in there to make it taste
quite
better.
Frankly, no one gets enough steps in. So
that's true, man.
Put a watch on and get to your stepping, and you'll be healthier. Get your own soda.
I agree.
Soda anyway.
Well, I agree with you. It's just like, I saw that and I think the same thing because you have to adapt in life. And,
sure.
They're just trying, everyone's trying. And so it's cool to kind of make mention that we got to do our part as consumers and as neighbors to support those small businesses.
Yes. And I'm quite sure that he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't in the best interest of him and his business being here 10 years from now, right?
Completely agree.
I mean, that's what people don't understand. Yeah. Like, this isn't, we are always looking out for the best interest. I am always looking out for the best interest of my clients, of my community, and that's just sometimes those decisions aren't what people want to hear, but it's what it is.
Well, the harsh reality of it too is, this isn't corporate America where, a business not doing too well is okay because there's a buyout somewhere. This for our families too,
right.
And that's what the community needs to realize. Right. We aren't doing this to do anything different. It's just to succeed and all grow.
Yeah. Do you want hit and run sodas that you can walk in and get yourself, or do you want no hit and run sodas that you can't walk into because the stores are closed?
Yeah, and then you're going to complain to me about McDonald's iced tea for 2 weeks.
Right.
You know what I'm telling you? I'm glad you said that, man. That's good. Joe, getting back into this, though, I just think it's great to see so many people coming together. And you guys have a few days. Obviously today is the best day. However, if you have a $5,000 check coming in Monday, I don't see that being a problem.
We will not turn anything down, and I think that you guys are going to do a follow up. A little bit later on in the weeks, probably closer. So, everyone will be acknowledged, even if you're not doing this to get acknowledgement. I think that it's important to do this for the right reasons, but you will get acknowledged no matter what. And we're not going to put anything, any stopgaps on. We would just like it to go today. So to that too, we're kind of actually started a food drive as well.
Did you really?
Yeah. So
this is awesome.
So, and that's another thing I wanted to throw out there too. So we're starting a food drive. We had people dropping stuff off at our office, and we're like, what are we going to do with this stuff? So we're like, I guess we're going to start a food drive now. So now we had this food drive going. We're going to run until the 12th of November. So we're hoping to get enough stuff together, and this is just from anyone in the community that can donate.
I'm seeing this now.
Right, anyone in the community can donate to this. We're hoping to get enough to be able to not only give people turkeys, but maybe even possibly give them some box stuff too, some canned goods, something like that as well.
Now, is this the right flyer right here?
It is.
So there you go. Runs to the 12th. Couple of massage gift cards. That'll be a fun one. And then $100 to Pie-Sol Armory. That's a good stocking stuffer.
It is. It is. So if you come to our location and you drop off, any canned goods, any boxes, then we actually have little tickets. We'll keep a ticket. You keep a ticket. We have a little raffle wheel, and then we will raffle those off. So we're going to give you, if you bring in a bunch of stuff, you may get 20 tickets. I'm not going to put a whole limit on this thing, really, quite honestly. The more you give, the more tickets you're going to get. And it's just to encourage the community to give too, right?
Well, how about this? If you need a service call, and you're like, I want to save a few bucks. If you have donate 2 bags of food during your appointment, you get half off your service call.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, we'll cut the service call in half. Give us a couple bags of groceries. I'm not going to count the groceries. Just give us a couple bags, and we'll cut your service call in half.
Well, and one thing too, as we get back into the turkey giveaway, which is set for November the 15th at 10 a.m., we'll have a location for you in that follow up and all that good stuff. There's no details on, you don't need to bring an income requirement. You don't need to, because, I get why folks have to. It's really, I don't like it. It makes it kind of, it makes you cringe.
Right, it does. I mean, so We were actually a part of the blessing boxes that used to be in Wood River. We built those blessing boxes.
Wow.
The one by the Wood River Library, the one in East Alton. My company built those and installed those.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we built those years ago. And I know they ended up becoming an issue where people were like, hey, everybody's taking food out of the blessing boxes, and one person's going there and emptying them out, and that's okay. Like, there's always going to be one person that's going to do something, or one or two people, but it doesn't mean it's going to ruin it for everybody else, right?
True.
So we're not going to put any restrictions on this. I'm just going to hope that the people that are coming through really are the ones that need help. And we're going to try to help as many as we can, right?
It's only ruined if you let it get ruined. If you let it
Yes.
spoil the bunch,
Right. In life, there's always going to be someone that's going to be doing something that you don't approve of. Just don't let it bother you. And just know that it's still going to help people. It's still going to help a lot of people, even if one or two people try to drive in with a Mercedes-Benz and they probably don't need the turkey. We're not going to turn you away.
And on the flip side of that, my perspective was changed one time because I was sitting in an airport and I was talking a beautiful suit, everything, and you would have thought life was great for him, and then he's talking, he's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to head into bankruptcy court, and I got this going on, and so even they might have the Mercedes Benz for 2 years, but you never know when their life changes, and all of a sudden that Benz is gone in 2 weeks, and we got to figure out groceries until then, and that you just never know.
I tell people all the time when they talk to me about business, and they're like, oh, it must be great, it looks like you've made it, and it must be, and the first thing I tell them is everything looks great from a distance.
Yeah.
Once you get up into the nitty and gritty, everything is it's not peaches and cream, and everything is not, happy go lucky.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not the reality of life. I don't care where you're at in life.
True.
You're going to have the set of problems, in correlation to where you're at in life. So, just because you own a company, that has a huge set of problems that comes with it. Just like if you had just a normal everyday job, that comes with a set of problems, and, it all is, in relation, but there's problems no matter what. You just got to figure out how to work through them.
Well, I really think this is just been a great conversation. I really encourage you guys, if you're business owners out there or individuals, write personal checks and let's get some more money raised. And give them a call today, 618-202-7722, or message them on Facebook, Pruitt Mechanical Services, LLC. We will link everything in a follow-up article, and we'll make sure that you guys are there for that drive-through turkey giveaway and the food drive, which runs till November the 12th, where you can make a difference, big or small, and enter for chances to win gift cards, services, and half off your service fee if you have 2 bags of groceries. Joe, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, and I'm wrapping up this Friday morning next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right.
I am out of time this morning, but that don't mean I won't see you later. for the Alton Halloween Parade with Joe Barrett live on RiverBender.com at 7. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.